You can speedrun the Lake of Shadows Nightfall strike in under 5 minutes, even under 4 minutes if you're fast enough. This is one of the easiest Nightfall strikes to speedrun and is one of the shortest strikes in the entire game. Speedrunning the Nightfall strike is great for a few things. First off, it can help you grind for Nightfall specific loot, but you can also get random legendary drops from the boss. The quicker you can complete a Nightfall strike, the more legendaries you'll have a chance at getting. To my knowledge, the only strike that can be done faster than this is the Nocris strike. I believe you can complete that one in just over 3 minutes. So how do we speedrun it? First, you'll need to adjust your challenge card to have the modifiers Solar Singe, Heavyweight, and Momentum. The power handicap can stay at 0. The reason you add Momentum, even though it's a negative modifier, is because it is actually more helpful than it is hurtful when speedrunning. The way Momentum works is it doesn't regenerate your health when standing still, but in a speedrun, you're typically always moving, and while sprinting, Momentum continually gives you health, which allows you to make it through rough sections you wouldn't normally be able to make it through without constant regeneration. I would recommend bringing a shotgun for the blights and any solar heavy weapons. You can pretty much run through this entire thing only having to kill a blight or one major at every section. In this run, which is now in the top left of the screen, I'm stuck in the loading zone, so the main footage is me replicating what my teammate is doing while I wait to load in. Most of the time you can make it through the area with the taken hobgoblins, but it is very much up to RNG whether you survive or not. I would recommend sticking together because at least one of you will always make it through. If someone dies, you can always respawn them by getting to the checkpoint, which I'll show you in a minute. You have to clear a total of 3 blights and 1 dude to get to the checkpoint. You want to be fast about this too so that you can take out the 3rd blight before the giant wave of enemies spawns in. Once you get the Cabal dude to spawn, take him out. If you survive, great, head to the next section. But if you die, it is totally fine because killing him will allow you guys to restart at the checkpoint without having to fight any of those enemies again. If someone is stuck far behind and keeps dying, wiping here will bring them up to the checkpoint with you. Move on from here and run through all of the enemies until you get to this taken captain. You have to kill him to progress to the next area. This is where you get to risky part number 2. You can try to run through all of this, but I would recommend burning a super if you have one. To clear out the taken knight, you have to kill at the end to progress. The vandal snipers here are super deadly too, so try and remove those dudes if you can. If everyone runs at once, one of you will definitely make it and can spawn the others in later on. Once you've moved on to the next room, run through everything again, and the final enemy you need to kill here is the Taken Wizard. After that, you're pretty much free to run all the way to the boss. I would advise taking out at least one or both of the Vandal snipers at the end before the boss room because they are pretty deadly, although you can juke them out if you're fast enough. After landing in the boss room and taking out the Blight in the middle, you will spawn the boss. I like using Melting Point and Sleeper Simulant on the boss. Since we put Solar Singe and Heavyweight on, use a Solar Heavy weapon, use Blade Barrage, use sleeper, whatever. It'll destroy him in seconds. Now, immediately after killing him, a bunch of ads will spawn in. If you die to them before the mission end screen pops up, it will restart you at the beginning of the boss fight. Now, you can farm the boss for legendaries, although you won't have a chance at the strike specific loot that way. So if you are going for the loot that's in the chest, you'll need to stay alive for a good 20 seconds until they despawn. Well of Radiance is great for this, or just sitting in the corner behind a shield or being invisible. Our fastest run was killing the boss in 4 minutes and 3 seconds. If you're fast enough, you can get below 4 minutes easy, as this run we wiped once on it, so it can surely be done faster. I'd say this is kind of a farm, because you can get really lucky and get tons of legendaries. I wish I had recorded the last handful of runs I did on Tuesday, because every other completion of this strike, I got 2 legendaries from the chest, on top of the legendaries that sometimes drop from the boss, which is pretty nuts. Yesterday though, I wasn't nearly as lucky, so it's really all up to RNG. But 4 minutes for a Nightfall strike, I'd say is pretty damn good. Hopefully this was helpful. I want to thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you all very soon.